Hey you, are you ready? It's good to see you today. Today we're going to talk about A is for apple. And we're going to do some fun things with apples, but you're going to need some supplies. You're going to need a circle. So you can use like a paper plate, or you can draw a circle and cut it out. You'll need either a brown paper. We just need a little piece. So maybe just a brown crayon and a little bit of white paper. For sure, you're going to need scissors. We're going to do some cutting out with our scissors today. Some glue. You will need crayons and markers. You're going to need paint. Either this kind of paint, and I think we're going to use red today, or this kind of paint, and for sure with either one, you're going to need a paintbrush. You'll probably also need a little bit of water. And always, when we do a letter one, you're going to need your writing rod. Okay? Get all of those together, and let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about A is for apple. And so, you know what we're going to do very first? We're going to start out talking about the letter. So your writing rod is the very first thing that you're going to need. Okay? So get your writing rod. While you're getting it, let's talk a little minute about letter A. Here are some pictures that start with letter A. Here's a capital A and a lowercase a. Now, let's see where letter A comes in our alphabet. So here's letter A. Here's the alphabet. Let's look at it. Oh my goodness, look at that. Letter A is the first letter in the alphabet. We don't even have to go all the way through because it's the very first one. Letter A is also a little bit tricky because letter A is red. Look right here at our alphabet chart. We have some red letters. Red letters are vowels. That means they have more than one sound. Usually they have 2 or 3, sometimes 4 or 5. They help us when we're reading. If it's a blue letter, that means it's a consonant, and usually it just has one sound. Sometimes it has 2, but usually just 1. So vowels are really important because they help us when we're reading. Well, we're not going to start reading first, but we are going to talk about words that start with letter A. All right. So we have a capital A and we have a lowercase a. Now look at this. It goes up, down, and across. That's A. And lowercase a is a circle with a little line on the side of it. Let's try practicing writing a letter A. Can you get a marker and your writing rod? Or you could use a pencil or a crayon if you wanted to. Let's take our writing rod and we're going to go down at the bottom and go up and down. Can you see that? And then we're going to go right across in the middle. Another way to do it is start at the top and go slanting down, then slanting down and right across in the middle. That's a capital. That's kind of a fun letter to write. And then let's try a lowercase. We're going to draw a circle and put a line on the side of it. Can you see it looks like it's got a little stick right there? So it's a circle, and you can come back down, or you can draw a circle, and then you can pick up your pencil and come back down and make an A. Now it's kind of tricky because letter A's, especially lowercase a's, we're going to try practicing. We're going to draw a bunch of circles on here. Now let's look at those circles. If I do a tall stick like that, is that a letter A? It's not. That's a letter D. What if I do a line that goes down and underneath it? That's a letter G. All right, what if I go on this side? A letter B. Or what if I do one that goes inside like that? That turns into a letter Q. Are there lots and lots of ways to use circles to write different letters? There are, aren't they? If we wanted A, we just want a little one. Now, you could also draw just a straight one down, but it's just a little one and it goes on that side. We don't want to put it on this side because that's not really any letter. So we're going to draw a circle and put it on that side. And we have our letter A. Is that awesome? Good job. Okay, letter A. We've got to figure out what letter A's sound is. So let's try some of these pictures really quickly. A is for apple. A is for apple, okay? So let's look right down here. This, it looks kind of like a monkey or a gorilla, but this is actually an ape. That's an ape. This is ABCs, that's right. And this is a kind of nut. It's called an acorn. All right, so we've got a ape, ABCs, acorn. What does that start with? Ape, ABC, acorn. Is that making the sound of its name, A? It is, isn't it? That's kind of cool, isn't it? Okay, let's look right here. We've got an apple, an ant, and an alligator. Let's try those. Apple, ant, alligator. What sound is that? Very nice. A makes two sounds. A for apple and A for ape. So we're going to talk, you know what? Let's get our paper back that we did. I'm going to erase all of these. I'm erasing all of these circles because I was just showing you that. We've got our letter A's up here. So you know what we're going to do? Let's try drawing an apple, shall we? Let's get a marker and let's try drawing an apple. Now, an apple is a circle with a stem and a leaf on it. So we're going to draw a circle right here, and then we're going to draw a stem on it. How about that? Does that look kind of like an apple? And you can get a different color if you want for the leaf, but I think I'm just going to draw a leaf. There's my apple. And you know what else started with A? An ant. Can you see that cute little ant? He's got some big eyes, doesn't he? Let's try drawing an ant. Let's draw a circle like this. You know what? Let's look at this ant. He's got a big circle right there on the bottom. So there's a big circle. There's another kind of big circle right there. And then a circle for his head. We've got 3 circles for our ant. Now look, he's got 3 legs on this side, and he's got 3 legs on that side. An ant has 6 legs because he's an insect. Let's draw him some eyes and a little antenna. You know, we could probably give him 2 antennas. How does that look? Is that a pretty good ant? A is for apple and ant. Did you like to draw those? You know what? If you wanted to draw you another one, you could. An apple and an ant. 1, 2, 3 circles. We're going to draw out an eye with a little antenna. And then we got to draw some legs. So we've got some, now you know what? You can draw those for a minute. While you're drawing them, let's talk for just a minute. In fact, while you're drawing them, and you could take them, you can even take your apple. You could take them and color them. You could color your apples if you wanted to. Now, sometimes ants are red, sometimes ants are black. You can color your ant whatever color you want. I think I might try a black one. Let's try coloring inside of here. Oh, I want to see his eye, so I'll have to draw him a new eye. Draw some legs on there. So if you want to color them, you can color them. And while you're doing that, I'm going to read you a story. Is that okay? Do you like stories? I'm going to read you a story about apples and letter A. So guess what? This is kind of a funny story. I like this story. This one is called 10 apples up on top. So when you're done coloring and fixing your page, we're going to read this. Now, one thing that I like to do when I'm done too is I like to wipe off my pictures. So make sure with your wet wipes that you clean it off when you're done so you can use it again tomorrow. But what we're going to do right now is we are going to read this book. 10 Apples Up on Top by Leo Lesage and illustrated by Roy McKee. All right. 10 apples up on top. 1 apple up on top. 2 apples up on top. Look you, I can do it too. Look, see, I can do 3. 3, 3. I see, I see. You can do 3, but I can do more. You have 3, but I have 4. Look, see now, I can hop with 4 apples up on top. And I can hop up on a tree with 4 apples up on me. Look here, you two. See here, you two. I can get 5 on top. Can you? I am so good, I will not stop. 5, now 6, now 7 on top. I am so good. 7 up on top. I am so good, they will not drop. 5, 6, 7. Fun, fun, fun. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But see, we are as good as you. Look, now we have 7 too. And now see here, 8. 8 on top. 8 apples up, not 1 will drop. 8, 8, and we can skate. Look now, we can skate with 8. But I can do 9 and hop and drink. You cannot do this, I think. We can do it too. See here, we are as good as you. We are all very good, I think. With 9, we all can hop and drink. 9 is very good, but then, come on, and we will make it 10. Look, 10 apples up on top. We are not going to let them drop. Look out, look out! I see a mop! Oh no. I will make the apples fall. Get out, you one and all. Come on, come down this hall. We must not let our apples fall. Out of our way, we cannot stop. We cannot let our apples drop. Oh, this is not good. What will we do? They want to get our apples too. They will get them if we let them. Come on, we cannot let them get it. Look out, the mop, the mop, the mop. You cannot stop our apple fun. Our apples will not drop, not one. Come on, come on, come on, come all. We have to make the apples fall. They must not get our apples down. Come on, get out of town. Apples, apples up on top. All of this must stop, stop, stop. Oh, now all our fun is going to stop. Our apples all are going to drop. Oh no. Whoa. Look, 10 apples on us all. What fun! We will not let them fall. The end. Did everybody find out it was fun to have apples on their heads? Can you really have apples on your head like that? You know what? I have some apples. Do you think I could get 10 apples to stack on top? Not even one will stop. They just roll off because the bottoms are kind of round and rolly. So I don't think it would really work, but it's a fun story. And sometimes it's fun to do things with other people and try new things. Even if they don't work, sometimes trying new things is a really important thing to do because then you learn the things that you're good at and things that you need help with. So that's really, really important. Okay, are you all done with your A's and your apple and your ants? I hope so. I think you're doing a really good job. All right, so we're all done with those. You know what we're going to do? We need to talk for just a minute about circles. What did we kind of draw a circle today? We're doing a lot of things with circles, aren't we? A circle goes around and around. So you know what? Let's take our writing road and you can turn it over or you can get a new piece of paper. And we are going to draw some circles. All right, so why don't you get a marker or a pencil or a crayon? And we're going to draw some circles. Now, sometimes when people draw circles, they go long like this. But you know what? That is not really a circle. That is an oval. When you draw as round as you can, it's a circle. But if you draw long like that, it turns into an oval. What if I do it like this? Is that a circle? No, that's a square. You're right. Now, what if I did a whole bunch of things like this, kind of like a circle? How about that one? It kind of goes around, but it's got some straight lines. It's got sides. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's called an octagon. That's not a circle. Can you draw a circle inside of it? It's kind of in the shape of a circle, except it has sides. So the circle's in the middle, but an octagon is on the outside of it. Could you do that same thing with a square? Can you draw a circle inside of it? Yeah, that's kind of a funny circle, huh? Circles are kind of hard to draw, aren't they? What if we drew a circle inside of this one? See how long it is on the bottom and long on the top? So it just can be in the middle part to make a circle. If we drew a circle inside of a circle, you know what that looks like to me? It looks a little bit like a donut. Should we draw some sprinkles on our donut? Do you like sprinkles on donuts? There, we have a circle donut. You know what I have right over here? I have a circle donut. And you know what I love to eat? Circle donuts. You know what else I like to eat? I like to eat cookies. They're usually a circle. What else? Apples are circles? What else is yummy to eat that's a circle? What about an orange? They're pretty good circles, aren't they? And sometimes sandwiches can be shaped in a circle, or a pie. What about a pie? That's a lot of times in a circle. Can you think of some other ones? Circles are kind of fun to think of, and they're kind of fun to eat. I really think eating circles is super fun. So a circle is round like a donut or a cookie. It's not really a square. Now, if you had like a brownie, would that be like a square? Or maybe, usually brownies aren't cut in a circle. Usually they are a square. There's lots of fun things to eat. And usually a sandwich is in a square or a rectangle. So there's lots of different shapes of things that we can eat. That's kind of fun. All right. Now, let's talk, before we go into our project, we forgot to find our letter A on here. Can you find a letter A? Look really carefully on there. Can you find it? What color is it? Red, that's right. Can you find that red letter A? And it's kind of in the middle. Right, there's our letter A. Good job. All right, that's the capital. Shall we find the lowercase? What color do you think the lowercase is going to be? Look carefully. Can you see it? What color is it? It's black. You're right. And it's kind of in the top, in the middle, isn't it? Right there. Can you see that lowercase a? See how it's got the circle and the little line on the side? Now, it could get confusing like with this one, but that's too long of a line. Let's see if there's, oh, look. There's some other circles with tall lines, but they're too long. But this one is just a little short one. So we know that that one is a letter A. Good work. All right, let's see if you can find a letter A right here, because we're going to do something fun with letter A. Right? Let's see. N, D, U, L, K, W, T, oh, you're doing such a good job, Z, E, H, I, C, Y. Oh, I think Y is such a fun one. J, R, G, B, S, O. Now look at O. O is also a circle. We're talking about both of those today. Q, M, F, P, we found a A. Oh, do you know what it says to do? Act like an alligator. So you can get down on the floor and be an alligator. I'm just going to do big alligator jaws. Do they have great big jaws? Look at those teeth on that alligator. Scary. Here we go. Ah. Oh, good job. You can be a big alligator with big sharp teeth. I don't ever think I want to see a real alligator really close to me. I think that would make me a little bit scared. I don't know about you, but I think it would make me a little bit scared. All right, let's get ready to do our project today. We're going to make an apple. Now, there's a couple things. Let's talk about apples for just a minute before we get started. Now, I hope you have a circle. If you drew a circle, you need to cut it out. This is just a paper plate, and it's already a circle. So I'm going to use this one, okay? But let's talk about what makes an apple really fast. This right here is a blossom. And in the springtime, blossoms go on the trees. And it gets these pretty, pretty flowers. Can you see here's some little ones getting ready to open up? And then do you know what happens to the flower? See all this little stuff right here in the middle? When it grows, there's that little stuff behind it. It starts growing. It's called a fruitlet. You can't pick it yet and eat it because it's just little tiny. Can you see how tiny that is? And there's all the little pieces that were in the middle of the flower. But it's starting to turn into an apple. Okay, let's look on the next page. It's getting bigger. Now it's starting to look like an apple, but it's very, very green. If you picked it now, it probably wouldn't be too good. Now, some apples are green apples. So sometimes you just have to wait till they get big enough. But this one, you can tell, is going to turn into a red apple. Does it look ready yet? And look, it's still got a whole bunch of stuff right there on the bottom. That kind of has to get smaller till it gets like this. Now, you can't even hardly see that little stuff on the bottom. But if you ever look at an apple, even when it's ready to eat and you look on the bottom, can you see those little fuzzy things right there? That's where the flower started. And then it grew into an apple. And it had a little stem that hangs up from the tree. Can you see that? That's kind of cool, isn't it? This is an apple. Now, apples are kind of yummy. Inside of an apple, when we eat an apple, because it's easy to peel, I have a cutting board right here. And we're going to take an apple, and we're going to take it and we're going to cut it in half. Usually when we cut an apple, we take the apple and we take it where the stem is. Right here, see where the stem is? People usually cut it down that way. So I'm going to cut it right through the stem part. And when you open it up, that's what the inside of an apple looks like. When you eat an apple, do you eat the seeds in the middle? You don't usually eat the seeds in the middle. You eat this part right here that's called the flesh. Sometimes people peel off the skin part and then you eat this flesh part. But you usually cut out the seeds. Now, something kind of fun about seeds. If you went on our apple field trip, you saw that inside of every apple is a star. We're going to cut it the long way right through. Instead of cutting it on the stem part like this, we're going to turn it sideways and we're going to cut it right through this middle part. The stem is here. We're going to cut it right through the middle. And look inside of there. Can you see that star? Both sides have one. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Now the red one has one. Shall we check and see if a yellow one? This is a yellow apple. Let's cut it right through the middle part and see if it has a star too. Can you see the star inside of that? And look, right inside of that star, can you see those seeds in there? That's pretty amazing, isn't it? The seeds are inside of it. Well, usually when you eat an apple, you eat all the edges off. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take our apple like we were gonna eat it, and I'm gonna just cut the edges off. Oh, and we're gonna be able to see inside. Usually when you eat an apple, you eat right around the core. Right inside there's the seeds. If I ate a little bit more, I would eat right into the seed part. Can you see those seeds inside of there? So the top part is red, the bottom part's kind of red, in the middle is the seeds, and then here's a little white flesh part. We're gonna make one of those out of paper. All right, so let's take our round circle or our paper plate, and we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut the sides like this on both sides. So let me show you how we're gonna cut that, and you can start cutting yours. We're gonna cut just a little bit out of the sides like we were eating our apple. There's one side. Can you do that on one side? And you know what? We're gonna come on the other side and we're gonna do it again. It's kind of tricky to cut. That looks kind of funny, doesn't it? Can you cut your apple or your round circle to look like this with part of it coming out and part of it coming in? And you have to cut it like kind of part of a circle on each side, all right? We're gonna cut that off. And we're gonna make an apple out of it. Why don't you cut it for just a minute? And while you're cutting, I'm gonna talk about some of the things that are cool about apples. So, apples grow on trees. Can you see that tree? It's got a whole bunch of red apples on it. There's a whole bunch growing on there. Just like these apples. See that stem on there? Right there on the top of that? The stem is what holds the apple inside the tree. And when people pick it, they pull it right off the tree. And usually the stem stays on it. So when you get apples at the store, you'll a lot of times find a stem on there. Inside of every single apple has seeds. This is cut through the stem part. Remember, if we cut it the other part, what's going to be in the middle? A star. You're right. Now, apples, when you talk about apples, most people think red. But did you know apples come in lots of colors? Kind of orange and green. And this one's kind of orangey too, almost orangey brownie. Then we've got red ones and yellow ones. Apples come in lots of different fun colors. And you know what? Every single apple has a different kind of flavor. Some apples are really sweet. Some apples are kind of sour. And the fun thing about apples is you can find the kind that you like to eat. And you can eat apples all the time. They're so yummy to eat. Now, did you know that there's things that you can make with apples? Have you heard of apple pie? I love to eat apple pie. Apple sauce is really yummy too. A lot of times that's one of a baby's favorite things because they don't have to chew it with their teeth, do they? Apple muffins. Have you ever had an apple muffin or apple cake? That's really delicious, and I love to drink apple juice. So apples are a really fun thing. All right. Did you get it all cut? Now guess what we're going to do? You need a black crayon, and you need to use a crayon for this. It's the very easiest. So get a black crayon, and we're going to take our black crayon, and we are going to make some seeds inside of our apple. All right? So let's we're going to take our little circle right here, and right in the middle of it, we're going to draw some seeds. Can you draw some seeds right in the middle? Now, do seeds grow clear out on the edges? Let's look at this one right here. Do they go out on the edges or just in the middle? Just in the middle. So we don't want to put seeds up here or down here. We just want them right in the middle. So can you draw 3 or 4 or 5 seeds just right in the middle? And then we need to get either our paintbrush and our paint. I'm going to use red paint because I want to do a red apple. And so I have some red paint in here. You can use, see, there's some red paint. You can use red paint. There's some red paint right there. So you can use your red paint. And what we're going to do with our red paint is we're going to color the edges up here. Now, if you don't have any paint, you could always use a red marker. I like to use paint because it's kind of fun. I'm going to take a little bit of paint, and I'm going to paint right across the top. Now, let's look at our apple core for just a minute. Does it have tons of red or just a little bit of red? The skin is just a little bit of red. So I'm going to paint right across the top of my apple. And I'm going to make it nice and red. All right, there's the top part. Now we got to do the same thing down on the bottom part. Oh, we're going to paint it so nicely. What do you think? Let's see how much it looks like this apple. That's kind of fun. It looks a lot like this apple, doesn't it? Just like we've been eating an apple. But this kind, you know what? Look at this one. Even in the middle, it's starting to go a little brown. After you eat an apple, the inside starts to go a little brown because the air turns it brown. But this kind of an apple, the middle's not going to go brown because it's paper. And paper doesn't just turn brown. But look, it's missing something. Can I hold it by the stem right there on the top? This apple doesn't have a stem. We're going to need to make a stem for our apple. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can take one of the pieces that you cut off and color it with a marker or a crayon brown. So, you know what? I think I am going to take it and I'm going to color it brown. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm coloring it really good and brown. Can you see that brown spot? And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut some brown out of that. You see that little piece of brown? And you know what we're going to do with that piece of brown? That's where we need our glue. I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to put it right on the back of that stem. So now there's some glue on back of it. And I'm going to stick it right on top of my apple. Does that look like an apple? Let's look at it. Let's compare it to the real apple. Here's my apple I made, and here's an apple that I could eat. This one kind of looks like an apple I could eat. Okay, while you're finishing your apple, I'm going to read you another story about apples. This story is called Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Look at the apples up in the tree. All right. Oh, Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3 by Bill Martin Jr., Michael Sampson, and Louise Ellert. 1 told 2. 1 told 2, and 2 told 3. I'll race you to the top of the apple tree. Climb, said 4 to 5 and 6. Bright little numbers that join the mix. Hurry, yelled 7 to number 8. Slowpoke fellow who was always late. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Here comes 9 to the apple tree. Next comes 10 and then 11. Wow, these apples taste like heaven. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Hot pink 12, lucky 13, picking apples, red and green. 14, 15, can't you see? They all want to climb the apple tree. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? 16's next to make the scene, climbing branches with 17. 18, 19, and one more 20. Numbers, numbers, there is plenty. Oh, Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Curvy 30, flatfoot 40, climbing up to join the party. 50's fine and 60's dandy. 70's hair is long and sandy. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Let's climb more, says Treetop 80. Higher and higher up to 90, until at last there's 99, and all the numbers are feeling fine, except for 0, who begins to cry. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Will there be a place for me? Oh no! Buzzing close, bumblebees. 8 hides, 0 hides behind the tree. Get out of our tree, the bumblebees shout, and all of the numbers tumble out. 90, 80, 70 fall, hit the ground, a free for all. 60, 50, 40, run. No more climbing, no more fun. 30's next, then sweet little 20. Numbers, numbers, no longer plenty. Where's 19? 19 and 18. Oh, my frightened numbers jump and fly. 17, 16, 15 more. Now 14 has hit the floor and 13 too, unlucky guy. 12 had almost touched the sky. Bent up 11. Where did 11 go? Bent up 11. Bent up 11. Wait, where's 10? 9, 8, 7. Follow then twisted 6 and top hat 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a dive. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Now I know the place for me. 0 leaps into the sky. Brave little number, he's not shy. 0 lands on top of the tree, joins the 10. Now 100, you see. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. Here's the place that's just for me. All the numbers come back out, higher and higher as they shout. Chicka Chicka 1, 2, 3. 0's the hero of our number tree. The end. Did 0 find a place? Were they having fun up in the apple tree? You know what? I love to climb up apple trees. They are so much fun and they're shady, but they do have bees because guess what? Bees they really do love to eat apples. Is that kind of funny? Bees really think apples are yummy and they love to be in apple trees. So you do have to be kind of careful climbing an apple tree. But did Zero find a spot and all the friends saw him and they thought it was great too? I think that's amazing. All right. How's your apple doing? Do you have a nice little apple core right there? That is going to be fun. You can hang that on your fridge or wherever you want in your room. And you can remember that A is for apple. In fact, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take this and on the back side, you know what we're going to write on it? We're going to write an A. On the back of it, let's write a capital A and a lowercase a. Can you write that on there? And underneath it, if you want to, you could write your name. But that helps you remember that A, capital A looks like this, lowercase a looks like this, and A is for apple. That's perfect. Then you can hang it up and remember what letter A starts with. So let's think about that for just a minute. A is for apple. Apple. Can you say the sound? Apple. A is for apple. That's perfect. And you made an awesome apple today. Now, inside of our apple, remember what we found when we cut it this way? Is a star. So you know what? I think we should sing the star song. If you want to see a star, look at me. If you want to see a star, look at me. I am special, you will see that there's no one quite like me. If you want to see a star, look at me. You know what? When I look at you, I see a star. And guess what else? Let's look at the word me. Here is a word that says me. This is me. And this me is a star. Is your me a star? Me, I'm a star. So are you because you are amazing. You made a great apple today. And we talked about some cool letters and you drew a cool letter A, didn't you? And you drew a cool circle today. So now you know what a circle looks like. And you know what? Maybe when you're looking around your house, you could find some circles. The clock on the wall a lot of times is a circle. There's lots and lots of circles. Circle food, so you can find some circle food, and then you can find maybe some circle toys. Do you have a ball at your house? Balls are circles. So see how many circles you can find, and maybe you can find some things that start with apple, alligator. Maybe you'll find an acorn outside. That starts with letter A. See if you can find some things that start with letter A and you can tell your family about them. Great job. I had so much fun with you today, and I had a lot of fun learning about letter A, pretending I was an alligator with you for a minute, and you could even pretend you're an alligator now, and maybe you'll have a chance to sing the star song again. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.